Okay, great. Hi, hello. Let's rock. I didn't realize we had started. Hi, everybody. I'm Daniel, and this is Daniel's Dread Tales. And we're doing a postmortem on our recent adventure in Daniel's Dread Tales. You may be seeing our faces for this. Maybe you're just listening to the podcast and you don't see our faces, but we are trying out doing our postscripts on video to see if that's a thing people care about.
And
at least we're trying to.
And if you do want to see our faces, you should check out our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Or yes, as Russell says, look behind you.
And you're probably just seeing a still image of my face. It's long been established on this podcast that technology is not my friend.
Yeah, after an exploding laptop, that tends to happen.
You're prepared for the robot.
No, but this is the laptop that Dan gave me. This is the big recording frisbee.
All right. Well, welcome everyone. I guess we should all introduce ourselves. You probably shouldn't be listening to this if you don't know us, but maybe you could attach a face to the voice. So I already said it. Hi, hello. I'm Daniel from Daniel's Dread Tales, the titular, the eponymous Daniel. What up, yo? Other people, introduce yourselves. Go.
Hi, I'm Damien, also obviously from Daniel's Dread Tales. I'm generally the person who runs the monthly streams.
Cool.
Next.
I'm which one am I again? Right. I'm Renee Chile. I'm sort of newly regular around these parts. Hello.
I'm Russell. I play Colin Kane and do other stuff.
Cool.
All right. I guess I used to play Kay Morgan, but after today, I mean,
She's faking.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Fine. I specifically consented.
That is true.
And I'm Nathan. I'm a still image right now. But also, him, regular around these parts. It is what it is.
And you play JB.
I do. K fucking exploded, team.
Yeah, I guess we want to start with that. K exploded. So
Exploded!
that's the thing that happened. K exploded. That was wild times, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that definitely put I'm gonna say that definitely put a monkey wrench in the plans that I had as Reg. Because my plan A was I was going in grenades blazing. And then K gets snatched. I'm like, well, crap, I can't do the thing.
But the thing is that that's absolutely what Kay would do. Because neither Renee nor Kay were seeing any way that we would be getting out of that alive. Because
I will note, we should go back and listen to the episode. I'm not quite sure who first suggests that there should be a flamethrower in the case of weapons.
That would be me.
I was about to say I'm pretty sure it was Renee.
I am 88% certain that was Renee's idea.
I listened to that episode, and yes. It was
Okay,
me.
well, choose the form of your destroyer, I suppose.
And also, too, we did have another option because the weird Knights of Malta guy gave me that one spell to use.
He did.
That would have been an option.
But,
Yeah, it banishes Nerlatotep.
but look, when you're inside the mouth, you kind of have to think fast.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, that is.
Kay has some experience with the mouths.
Oh.
Now, if
Yeah.
as what's his name, Kintaro suggested, it were a nose, would that be better or worse for Kay?
I do not want to die, like drowning in a mess of boogers. So
That would be the new nectar. Like they would be
Ah.
eating the
Ah,
the
It would be
snot.
green instead of orange.
Now,
It
I
de-
will... Sorry, go ahead, Daniel.
I was just gonna say, I mean, depends on, what's coming out. Maybe they got a sinus infection. It's kind of a clear that, there's different things that it could look like.
and I am begging you with all of my heart, shut the fuck up.
All I was going to add is I think the campaign would have been a little bit more disturbing if it was like noses or like, say, ears or something just odd like that.
Okay, but ears aren't known for biting people. And
No, they're not. And neither are noses.
earwax, though.
Oh,
Okay.
God.
But like, look, I'm happy with this death. I think it's like the first time I've ever died in any meaningful way, like other than in a one shot.
Honestly, you went out like a G.
Yeah,
It
it
was-
was a fairly honorable death. I feel like heroic, even.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's probably the most heroic death that anybody in this campaign is going to suffer.
I'm
I'm just
not,
going to
man.
throw
We'll
that
see.
out there right now.
Let's find out, baby.
Oh, let's not
And
will
my next character has.
further into existence.
No, I mean, what do you think? The rest of you are making it through this unscarred?
Unscarred? No. Alive? Hopefully.
Yeah.
I mean,
You know what? I'm trying to think. If I was everybody, place your bets. Who's making it through the campaign alive? Who's got the best chances?
I'll put some more points in Flea and guarantee it's Cullen.
Okay.
imagine if
okay.
Reggie makes it not only alive but perfectly sane.
Hey, if
I didn't
I
say
make it,
sane.
I was about to say, if I make it to the end of the campaign with sanity above 0, I will be shocked.
Eh?
And by I mean Reg, obviously.
Yes.
Because I think I'm at 4 sanity as my max now, or something along those lines.
Christ
Impressive.
alive, man. That's not a big number.
No, it's not. To be fair, though, I think I started with 7.
Deliberately started with less.
Yeah. Yay for Cthulhu Mythos knowledge.
So, by the way, I don't know if this is quite the time for this, but fuck it, it is now. If we're talking about how many points we have in stuff, I should note that surviving investigators do get advancement. So
Yay.
congratulations. You get more points. You get 2 build points for each session that you participated in.
Oh, jeez. Okay, so more than 8 then.
Yeah, I was about to say, Mr. Editor, how many sessions have we done for this arc?
All right, this should be easy to figure out, so I have no idea.
That's real. And how do we count the half session that happened because of the Wi-Fi fuckiness?
Oh,
Half a point?
Because, that was 2 sessions, but only 1 episode.
I say we count
Yeah.
episodes.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is Maltese Mayhem episode 7 or 8?
I'm about to check. Going through the files. Do.
7.
6 episodes in Malta.
Okay. You have 12 points to spend. Congratulations. Each
Damn.
one of those is spent at a 1-to-1 rate to improving your skills.
Ooh.
Nice.
Yay.
I need to decide what I'm going to spend those on.
So
must be
ponder
nice to
that
know.
while we continue going through this. Kay, however, you're not going to be upgrading your skills. What is the plan for what you're going to do, Renee? Is this the last time we're going to be talking to you on the podcast for now?
No.
Yep. Bye bye, everyone. No.
No!
No, obviously not. At the end of the session when I exploded, it was suggested in sort of a half-joking manner that I maybe want to take over Kearns, and I'm like, no, thank you. Because that asshole just shut the door in my face, so let him fucking stew in that. That was my thinking. And then I was like, hang on. I know exactly what that feels like. The, angst and, self-loathing and that sort of stuff. So I would be stoked to play that. So I think, at least for the foreseeable future, I will be taking over Franklin Kearns.
All right.
Hell yeah.
Cool. You'll be the pilot. Hopefully you don't die again, because, well, I guess doesn't Reg have points in pilot? Who has Reg points in pilot?
Yes. Reg has points in pilot. Reg has points in, I think, both piloting and driving.
Cool, so we can kill Reg because piloting is handled by Kearns.
Perfect.
No,
always
I
has-
mean, if it happens, it happens.
Guaranteed.
I'd rather not Reg die, but I mean,
Yeah,
whatever
by the way,
the narrative dictates.
Yeah. By the way, for the record, I did not go into that thinking like, you know what time it is? It's time to kill one of the players. And specifically, it's time to kill Renee. Fuck all of this. Her character seems to be developing kind of an interesting arc. I'm uninterested in pursuing that.
Yeah,
Let's
you've
kill
been-
her.
Taking on me since day one.
Okay. Yes. But I just pick on the people that are available. Take Nathan, for example. He also got picked on a little bit. And that's just because he was alone. Also, I do want to point out your biggest problem for this whole thing was your bizarre idea that after kidnapping a man and blackmailing him, that you should take a day off.
It was a great idea. I think it turned out great.
I deal with the choices you make. I try not to judge them too much.
I feel like there was definitely some judgment going on.
There was, yeah.
Well, the
Because-
consequences that resulted from it were the logical consequences. And if anything, I feel like I might have pulled my punch on that a little bit.
Yeah, sure. Like, what was her name? Diana? Diane?
Diana.
Diana. Yeah. What did you think was going to happen here? You think you'd take a day off? Like, whoa, judgment,
Yeah, I maybe had the character address the camera a little bit.
right?
that one came from the heart, Dan. We could all tell.
Yeah.
I'm trying to ratchet up the tension, and then you're like, man, let's have a beach episode.
Yep.
The tension was tense.
That's why we needed a spa day.
The end of that spa day made me cry.
It's true. Can confirm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it wasn't a spa day anymore at that point. That was somebody was getting the crap beaten out of them and being forcefully addicted to drugs.
Yep.
That is exactly what happened.
So, my question now, actually, Nathan, how do
It's
you
me.
think that's going to affect JB?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
That's a good question.
And I'm not entirely sure, but I'm definitely going to be working with that as I go.
If you want to know mechanically how it's going to work, is that if you have a good amount of free time with nothing to do, you are going to need to make a stability test to not go out and try to get nectar. That is what it's going to be.
No more spa days for JB.
Now,
Okay,
actually, sorry.
Oh yeah.
All right. I guess JB's going to be Stephen Kinging it, where if he feels like he needs drugs, nope, time to write for 13 hours straight.
Oh, I thought you meant Stephen King in the 80s, where he was on drugs for 24 hours straight.
Yes.
Yeah. I specifically mean Stephen King post kicking it.
Okay. Not maximum overdrive, Stephen King.
No.
Who wrote?
I am
the
actually
Flowers of Evil?
right now
Daniel.
reading his writing memoir. Super interesting. His childhood was insane.
That
What?
does not surprise me in the least.
You were
Who
saying
wrote the
something,
flowers?
Renee? What was that?
Who
Yeah.
wrote the Flowers of Evil? Who was that?
I don't know.
The Flowers of Evil?
Yes.
Chat
We've
GPT.
got to.
Ew, not ChatGPT.
When I Google Flowers of Evil, I get a South Korean television. Is that what
Dude,
we're
no.
talking about?
No.
Charles Baudelaire.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you, Baudelaire. They were all slaves to the green fairy. That's what they used to call absinthe.
Slaves to the
yes.
Green Fairy. I'll have to remember that one.
Yes. I think that happened to one of my characters in an old Dungeons and Dragons game, actually. But then they made friends with the fairy. Then they killed that fairy and made a new fairy become the new fairy queen. It was the whole thing. But
Sounds like
yeah, it was actually horribly kind of just ripped almost wholesale from Final Fantasy 14. But
as you do.
As one does.
So, yeah, whatever. They were 20th level characters. I needed to figure out weird shit. They fought Godzilla at one point. Anyway, so
What?
that, you know what? I'm sorry. I take
And
that
you
back.
didn't invite Nathan?
They didn't fight Godzilla. They fought King Ghidorah, who had teamed up with Strahd.
I remember you telling us this story.
Yes.
Dude.
They did befriend Azilla, meaning the one from the 90s American version. Anyway, so
Okay.
we're getting off track here. So let's talk about it. So obviously we talked about the biggest thing, which is, of course, Kay's dead.
Yeah.
Which is a lot. But
That's a lot.
yeah, this is our first real death in any of these ongoing games that we've played.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it was okay. We're just gonna have to be ready for that because my philosophy on this is that, I mean, if especially when Renee was like, "Do it," I was like, "Okay, yeah, well then obviously that's the only way that's gonna happen." Yeah, and you have figured out that sort of a way to kill the mouths, or at least defeat them, is explosions and fire, which
Just as I
is
suspected.
convenient.
I mean, we are 2 for 2 on that because the first one we took out with, well, at least we assume we took out with fire.
The first one that's still alive in Los Angeles and is just kind of chilling there that you ran away from. Yeah,
we
I
set
don't
the
know.
building on fire, and it, like, as far as we as characters know, it's probably dead. As far as we
Really?
as players know,
Definitely.
Do you think your characters even think it's dead?
No.
Okay.
I think, if anything, the characters prefer not to think too hard about it.
Yeah. Colin probably didn't ask too many questions, so he doesn't know what to assume.
Yes.
I
Yeah,
also
Colin
don't
was
have
having a-
grenades, or didn't have grenades at that point, so.
Well,
Well, now you know what to do. Throw the only woman in the group inside the mouth and fucking kaboom.
yes.
Well, that's
Strap
not gonna-
bombs to
We
the
don't have any
woman
women
and
in the
then
group now.
Right, fuck!
Yeah, it had nothing to do with the giant tank of propellant strapped to your back.
watch out. These things might be like the Borg. Maybe they're going to be immune to it next time you try it.
We'll just set phasers to full.
Okay. Just modulate the frequency.
Yeah.
Where are you gonna find this many characters?
Anyway,
We're bringing
so
Steve.
fuck off. So we have so I know we're focused on that, but there's a lot of other stuff that was happening in Malta. How do we feel about this story that sort of played out and then kind of ended in a, I don't want to say anticlimactically, but in a not quite the way that everybody was seeing that it was going to go? Any sort of highlights that we think from this little arc in Malta?
Oh, spot A. I know you didn't like it. That was a great episode.
It was a really good episode.
I will say,
Oh no,
I really enjoyed unraveling the mystery behind Donovan.
I
thought that was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Figuring
have a
out what
theory.
his deal was. And then, like,
Mhm.
when you realize, like, oh, his wife's dead. Oh. Yeah.
I have a theory, not
Yeah.
about the wife, but about the child.
Which is?
Which is that, and I might be metagaming here. I'm obviously metagaming here,
What's this
but
about witches?
the reason that the kid is comatose, and it happened after his mom was gone, is because he is like astral projecting or something and looking for her.
Oh, interesting.
That's definitely an interesting take on that. I'm kind of still standing behind my original, well, actually more Reg's theory that the sacrifice of Donovan's kid technically already happened in like spiritual form. It's just his physical body hasn't been consumed by a mouth.
Well, I know what happened, but, you know.
Of course, you know.
But if you tell us it ruins all the fun, so.
That's right.
Exactly. I will say that's one of the biggest things that I'm leaning into on this is it's called Eternal Lies. It's going to be hard to figure out the truth of what's going on.
Did I explain why though?
Is there something that stood out to you that made it seem like that's what was going on?
It was something that you mentioned to me, like outside of the game.
Spoilers.
Well, now, I'm curious.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I sort of assumed that like the moment that like when Kay was casting the hyperspace gate spell, the mirror was cracking because the gazer was looking at me. And then Daniel said that you're not the one the gazer is looking at. And that's when I was like, wait, but who's the gazer? Like, who is the gazer looking? Fuck, the kid!
Well, now we're just adding some meta knowledge there. But yeah, the gazer's looking at something. The gazer's looking at something.
I edit this. There was no point in covering my ears.
Yeah, exactly. You're gonna hear it eventually anyway.
Well, now that's a cryptic clue for everybody out there. Maybe the gazer is looking at something, but maybe not at Kay. Maybe somebody we know. Maybe someone we haven't met yet. Maybe somebody we met in the very first episode. Maybe not.
So long ago.
Anyway, no, don't worry. I am leaving the clues. There is there's a couple of big mysteries still lurking underneath all of this. I think one of the biggest is, of course, who is the liar from beyond? Who is the thing with a million mouths? What's their
It's
deal?
not movie.
Your
Me, may I?
oh yeah, sure. This isn't a classroom. You're good, but
It's a good way of signaling you need attention.
I appreciate it. Actually, It worked well. But
I think we're not dealing with Zethos or Nyarlathotep or anybody. I think we're dealing with Shub-Niggurath. The goat with 1,000 young.
Oh, a lot of sense.
Depicted as this writhing mass of tentacles and mouths.
And mouths.
And hooves, yeah.
Produces children.
That's all of them, though.
Yeah. Shit, how did I never catch that?
I mean, it's definitely a very distinct possibility. Like, it would track.
And in one of the stories, in one of the Lovecraft stories, there was, I think it was the Rats in the Walls. I think in that story there was a reference to a sex cult worshipping the goat of the woods, the goat with 1,000 young.
And here, ladies and gentlemen, we see the ultimate test of Daniel Fernandez's poker face.
yeah, that's an interesting theory that you have.
I think it is Slan from the Berserk universe.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily have to be something from something that Lovecraft wrote.
That is true. I suppose.
Even
Wait,
though-
are you a
There's a
Berserk
good
fan,
chance it
Dan?
is. I've actually never read Berserk. I hear Berserk is very good. It's on my list of things to do. I downloaded a big ass torrent. Don't tell anybody of Berserk that I'm gonna work my way through one of these days.
We're literally
We'll just-
putting this on the internet.
Not well. It's fine. You know what? I'll go delete it right now. Oh, actually,
There
no.
you go.
Parody. Obviously, I didn't torrent anything. That's just what. It's a joke.
Wow, this is gonna be a long bleep.
Another
No.
April 1st episode.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I will say. The thing might not be something that Lovecraft wrote. Although maybe that's just another one of my fucking lies.
You heard it here first, folks. The storyteller is gaslighting all of us.
Yes.
He does that a lot.
I mean, okay. If it is a crossover, if it is a piece of crossover fiction, I will be so mad if it's going to be anything than the giant head from Rick and Morty that goes, show me what you got.
I didn't say it was a crossover. No, it's not going to be like fucking Darkseid shows up and then
Why not?
Superman has to punch him. Like, it's not kind of like. It's going to
What
be
the fans
something.
want.
No, it's Krang.
You're right. It's Krang. You just gotta train. You're gonna go to the Far East, train yourself to be ninjas, go into sewers, eat some
Meat
pizza,
and turtles.
sing
Sounds like a leap from
cowabunga a
athletics
lot.
points.
Yeah, that mystery is still going on. You have, I will say, pretty solid victory over the cult at this point. You destroyed one of their mouths, and your exposure of them did make them try to blow up their warehouse, which they did do. A lot of them got away, which is not going to be as good for you. But, you know, that's probably fine.
Yeah, it won't come back to bite us at all.
Yeah, right?
It's fine.
Interesting choice of words.
Ah,
Too soon?
Yeah.
And
Mouth
So,
puns for everyone.
so obviously, you know, you have a couple of other leads to follow here of like other places in the world that you could go to. But I guess maybe my question is like, how do you stop this thing? Do you have
Well-
any grand plan of how you stop this thing yet?
We
Well, there
find
was-
out where the base is under that mysterious mountain and cast the big fuck off spell.
Yeah,
because
as
we learned both of those facts in that adventure.
Okay. I am glad to hear you say that because I sometimes worry you don't pick up on what's going on in the game. Okay.
Thanks.
Was that directed at all of us or me specifically? I don't know which I would be more offended by, actually.
You know what, Nathan? It wasn't to you specifically.
Okay. I guess I'll take it.
yeah,
You just-
I was
you
gonna
just
say,
think all of us are dumb.
I was just gonna say, Reg's plan is magic.
Right. And what
the more
was the
things
spell you
change,
got?
the more they stay the same, huh, Damien?
And what was the name of that spell you got?
I did I write that?
Okay, I admit I didn't write it down. I just remember that we got it.
The spell to unravel is what you had told me, and it requires from a nameless text, and it requires essentially shouting loud in. So if there's more details, you're gonna need to get those to me because I didn't get those.
I am
It's-
1,000% sure that's not going to work on whatever we're actually fighting.
Why
But
do you
that
say that?
Oh, here's a spell specifically for this god that you haven't figured out what it is yet. It's specifically for this one god. Anyway, go have fun. That'll probably do it.
You do. Yes, it
It
should
got
be
away.
noted that that spell is specifically for working against a specific god.
Yep.
A specific god.
Now, if it was like Lovecraft be gone, maybe it'd work on everything, but it's like
Nyarlathotep.
Nyarlathotep.
Remember, you actually had a little bit of an argument with Godfrey about Nyarlathotep?
Yep.
Yeah.
He don't like
It's
it.
just it's a spell that banishes out Nyarlathotep. So
Wait, is that a different spell than the spell that we found in the safe in The guy's
So-
office?
That opens up the sky.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it
That was another one that I
suspiciously
have to
survived an explosion, so I can't imagine it's important.
Yeah, you got actually 3 spells this time. You got one spell that opens up the sky, which is apparently something you have to do to find the horrible thing. You got one spell to banish Nyarlathotep, and you got one spell that lets you teleport. And now you don't have that. The person who knew that spell isn't around anymore, but somebody else can learn
Honestly,
it, I guess.
I was planning on that. I think JB will probably pick that up.
That makes sense.
Okay. Great.
I am trained in physics, so I get the like cool bonus.
Okay,
I was
there you
about
go.
to say. That
Okay,
makes sense.
good.
I was wondering if Colin might try and keep that out of people's hands just because it was K's.
Ah, interesting.
Aw.
I
mean,
think he
cute,
would have to
but-
snatch it from Reg. Because I think Reg is the one who picked it up.
What? We're all returning our books to the Library of Reg?
Well, no, it's
Uh-huh.
just more that Reg was the one that had picked it up. And I would hope everybody's returning the books to the like central depository. Like, it would make sense. They're
Does
for
Reg make
all
us-
of us to learn and go crazy while reading.
Does
Come on
Reg actually make us fill out library cards?
now. Yes.
Fair.
And he has created his own little mini Dewey Decimal System.
Too good to use the existing one.
No,
Who
Okay.
needs that? I know what I'm gonna do.
What are you gonna do?
When it comes to Reg, I'm gonna try to punch him in the face. First thing.
Nice.
Why is right? Because of the whole K thing.
Well,
yeah, that's gonna be interesting.
I mean, Colin is too squishy. Sorry, Colin.
I've got an average number of health points.
Yeah, you got what? -1 athletics at this point.
I think 2.
That's not how you can't have -1. That's not how the system works. But
But I mean, JB wasn't there. Colin is soft-boiled. Reg is a soldier with guns and grenades, and also magic. And he was the one who threw the grenade.
Yep.
I'm gonna be
Well,
pissed about
that will be an interesting thing that we will see in the future. Speaking
Yeah.
of the future, where do you intend to take your party next? We can explain it more in character, but as we mentioned before, I need to fucking prep. So you got to tell me where you're going to go first so I can prep that area.
I'll fly you.
Do you remember
wherever
your
you want,
choices?
but
I know
wherever you
Bangkok,
like
Mexico
Mexico
City,
City?
and there was another one. I can't remember the
Ethiopia.
third.
Ethiopia.
Yes.
Do you remember what's going on in Ethiopia?
Airs is going on in Ethiopia. He went there for
Exactly.
an archaeological dig.
Yes.
My vote is
Ayers.
Ethiopia in that case.
Ayers is in Ethiopia. Bangkok, you heard something about new rites that were being performed. And in Mexico City, there is. It looks like there's a record company involved in the
So I'm
cult.
curious about that one, but it doesn't seem super pressing.
Yeah.
Was the Spanish-made guitar significant? Was it made by the Luz Disco studio?
That wouldn't have been Spanish made. That would have been Mexican made.
Also, I don't think we actually investigated the guitar all that deeply.
This is also true. So I heard Ethiopia. Is that where we want to go? We want to track down Ayers. He seems to not. Nobody has mentioned Ayers recently in discussions of the cult.
Well, for a second there, Donovan said he was leading the cult,
That was
and then that was corrected.
yeah.
Well, yeah, but that's just because I misspoke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I said honesty on that and everything.
so to kind of justify why I suggest Ethiopia is because the whole heirs thing is kind of one of our loose ends from the first arc.
Mhm.
Yes.
And I think that would be a good one to tie up sooner rather than
Okay.
I think
Yeah,
for Colin's
fair
part,
enough.
he's discontent with all of the people we've let go, so maybe it's time to track one of them down.
Well, now it's time. I guess you'll be able to break out your Lawrence of Arabia style garb. As flowing robes, sandals, that sort of thing. I guess Arabian Nights as well. Okay.
Copyright,
yeah.
Renee, copyright.
Yes.
Parody, parody.
It's not parody if you just sing the song.
I'll add a fart noise in there.
Okay, great. Okay.
It was also
Um,
short enough that YouTube won't care.
Yeah, exactly. No, you're still within the league, but it's fine.
Okay.
So we'll be going to Ethiopia. We got some points to spend. I think I'll need to one-on-one work with you, Renee, before we record to actually fill out Ayers' skills. Ayers. Fuck, I'm doing...
Everyone is heirs now.
That's a whole other thing. That was actually an unknown armies game I made once. Anyway, everybody was named Bill. So, or at least there are different manifestations of Bill throughout different realities.
That sounds incredibly confusing.
Yeah, that campaign didn't sort of self-destructed. So, anyway,
Seems like that's
Yeah,
such
man.
Yeah,
so I guess so it looks like we have most of our stuff figured out for going into the future. Did we have any questions? I know that we are recording this episode before the final episode where Kay dies has come out. But do we have any questions either from you guys that we want to talk about or from the Discord or email or anything like that?
Oh,
What
yes. We
ifs?
should probably put our email at the end of the credits. That'd be a good idea, I bet.
Yeah, because the only thing we get
Yeah.
at the email right now are AI-generated requests to guest on fake podcasts or have people guest on our podcast.
Okay, so because I see those emails come in because of being attached to the Google account, every time I see one, I laugh my ass off. There was the one that was like, "Oh, the twist of Nathan's laptop exploding in the most recent episode." I'm looking at that. I'm going, that's just fucking
Quite the
gold,
twist.
comedy gold right there.
That is actually really funny.
Clearly AI-generated garbage. That's the real liar from beyond. So, I'm sorry, Russell, you were saying something about what ifs?
What ifs?
The what ifs.
We're gonna posit some situations where if we had made different choices, what would have happened?
Okay. Such as?
Renee?
I kept the dibs on the what if we actually kept Donovan question. Like, what if we didn't let him go? What if we, kept him hostage?
I would say that the cult would probably notice that he was missing at some point and try to track you down. Unless you were just going to kidnap him and take him directly to his compound and use him for something.
That probably could have gone better.
Yeah,
for us.
like it. I think it would have. I think Reg wouldn't have had an issue with that because, like, one of Reg's regrets from this whole scenario is not being able to actually take Donovan to task. He did a little bit during the interrogation, but he wanted to kick the shit out of Donovan.
I got an extreme thunderstorm warning a little while ago, and now I am hearing it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hopefully it's not some horrible storm brought on by some sort of entity from beyond. Okay, so
You're behind this because you need to stop.
I control the weather now.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I knew it.
Yeah. It's what people down in Southern California control the weather. That's why the weather's always nice here.
There's a logic to it.
Yeah. Also, we're not good at controlling it that well, so that's why there's the state catches on fire all the time. It's a small price to pay. Actually, it's a huge price to pay. It's horrible. So were there any other, like, do we think of, like, what if scenarios? Because that's a definite big one. Like, you gave up Donovan after you had him, which, to be perfectly frank, was not what I expected you to do, but, whatever.
Gotta throw those curveballs.
You know what? You are always curving on me. You are zagging on me.
So, I do have a question, Dan.
Mhm.
Did Donovan rat us out? Or, like, we had him in and out in the time he was supposed to be visiting a grave.
He ratted you out, dude. He ratted you out immediately, dude.
Oh yeah,
of course
that dude was a
he
coward.
did.
I'm gonna retroactively kick him when we find his corpse there.
He's gonna find him in the fucking afterlife and beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, he thought that giving you guys up to the cult was going to be his way out.
Moron.
That was stupid.
I mean,
Forgive me for thinking that he would act rationally.
This is a cultist who sacrificed his wife to get drugs.
Yeah.
he did get it out eventually, so.
Yeah. The fact that he even talked to you guys and got captured was enough for the higher-ups to be done with him.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Which you'd think he'd have realized that, but yeah. Anyway, for me, the what if that's been circling through my head a bit is, what if we had sent Reg to do the pass instead of JB? Because, like, I think Reg could have gotten out of that unscathed. And if we had, like, gone through all that without anybody getting kidnapped, that would have changed the finale of the arc a bit,
It would have. I think maybe you don't give yourself enough credit or give Reg too much credit. I don't know if Reg gets out of that. If he's the one
that's giving Reg too much credit. I think, honestly, as far as the characters in the investigative group, the one that would have had the best chance, in my opinion, of getting out unscathed would have been Colin.
And why is that?
Colin is better at being stealthy than Reg is.
Okay, yeah.
Well, shadowing, anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, also, I'll tell you the what if was, that monk was that Knight of Ball was gonna reveal himself to you at some point. I'd had him spying on you and whatnot to build it up. But then when one of you guys got kidnapped, I'm like, okay, time for this to happen.
I could finally get this character in there that they've been avoiding.
Oh, no.
Yes. Well, he also was going to try to save you if you did something stupid, which was going to be
Inevitable?
If you guys, now I'll give you another one. If you guys had tried to go in with the part of the Donovan plan, like Donovan's going to get us in or whatever, Donovan would have been immediately like, "Here they are, guys," and then there would have been some explosives, and the Knight would have come up from the sewers or whatever and tried to help you a little bit. You had one save there that I had floating around.
So now we get to carry it over to the next one.
I don't think.
No, you used it. He gave you a flamethrower.
Oh.
Well, okay. Bad example.
For all the good that shit did.
It killed him out. We killed the mouth with it.
Among other things.
It had a name.
Yeah. Any other questions where we think about what might have happened?
What if we just jumped straight to firebombing stuff once we knew the cult was in there?
They would have killed you.
Grenade.
But they'd be on fire. It's hard to kill people when you're on fire.
Well, they had guards outside watching, things that were going on. Also, they owned the police. Okay.
Oh, police, fuck.
Yeah.
Pincer attack.
They could have rained fire on them from the plane.
I kind of have two what ifs myself.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is, what if we would have gone into the catacombs earlier?
Well, so you wouldn't have had the way to the secret tunnel. Like, you wouldn't have had that until you met the guy. But if you had gone deep into the catacombs, you maybe would have run into the guy. You would have stumbled upon his shrine. So
That makes sense.
yeah.
And then the other one is, what if we actually would have split up and sent somebody after JB whilst, the other
The
one.
other two went after the mouth.
Or yeah. Well,
Okay.
originally what Reg's suggestion was Reg deal with the mouth and the other two go after JB because
If Reg had gone alone against the mouth.
Then a different person would have been blown up.
Well, he didn't
Well,
have...
no, if Reg was alone, he would have gotten blown up. He would have probably just gotten eaten.
That's
Although he
interesting.
had grenades. So
Yeah, I am 100% of the opinion that Reg was probably going to blow himself up.
Oh, the fact that this one was on the roof was definitely something I wasn't expecting. So even if I'd gone in with dynamite, someone was probably getting exploded there.
Did you ever see, side note, but I reminded of this. You ever see Kong Skull Island?
Technically.
I know exactly what you're referencing now.
There's a scene where a character pulls a pin on a grenade and approaches a monster to try to sacrifice himself. And the monster just knocks the grenade away and eats the guy.
No.
Well,
It swats him with the tail. He goes flying and explodes on the side of the mountain.
You're right. Yes, he doesn't actually. But the point is, he tries to do a heroic sacrifice grenade and it just doesn't work whatsoever.
He died as he lived. Poorly.
Yeah. It's almost like that whole movie is talking about how, well, whatever. We don't need to get into the themes of a separate movie here. But that was
Dan,
what
I would love to spend hours talking with you about the themes of giant monster movies. Okay, so
we could make a new show and call it Daniel's Daikaiju Theater or something.
I can't imagine that would ever work.
Nah.
So Damien, you said you had two what ifs. Was there another one? No. You said the catacombs and then the split up. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Any other ideas there, Renee?
A question from my friend Sarah. She kind of wants to know, what if you, as in me, didn't read that book and didn't get the powers? So,
yeah, how would we have handled it if we didn't have the portal?
If we were already planning to kidnap Donovan, being able to create gateways through space and time just made that a lot easier.
Yeah.
That might have gotten you in the catacombs earlier.
So I will also say that had Kay not read that book when she did, that was one of the next ones that read.
I figured Reggie was probably gonna do that. Would have done that.
That was either the next book or the one after that, because I have been kind of planning ahead.
Fair enough.
Then I threw a curveball at you.
Yeah, a little bit. It
And
happens.
look where it got me.
Yeah. As we just continue to read these horrible books that really have not helped us much.
Book time. How did it go again?
The results could be tragic, but they might just teach you magic.
Yeah.
So many secrets to possibly find.
Beautiful.
My chair is awful. I'm so sorry.
Picking up a
Nobody's hearing your chair squeak, at least not on our
Okay,
end.
good.
It may be very loud for you, but I'm not hearing it.
It's so bad.
Okay, so are there any other questions or any other things that we wanted to bring up?
We had another listener, what if?
Oh, what was it?
What if the campaign centered on, instead of mouths, noses? And I think we've already talked about that.
We
And
We
mentioned
talked
that
about
already.
this one, and it made me very uncomfortable.
So let's continue the conversation.
No. No, let's not do that.
It again.
So you just got to punch it and make it a bloody nose.
Ugh.
But would that make the nectar more potent?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you should go to
I'm out of
Bangkok
here.
and find out.
Okay.
That's a hint and foreshadow.
The only
We'll
reason
get there when we get there.
No, I know. Yeah,
the only reason I didn't suggest Bangkok was and this is me bringing the knowledge I have about the Cthulhu mythos in is I'm assuming that's where the like climax is going to be, because that's generally in a lot of the mythos stories the area of the planet that like a lot of the like terrible shit is. Now, granted, that's because of reasons pertaining to Lovecraft as a person, but that's kind of besides.
Yeah, like was it the horrible peninsula of Liang or whatever? You know.
Yeah, something along those lines.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think I.
Okay. Well, I guess you'll find out. I don't care where you go next. I'm intrigued by the Ethiopia thing. You will discover a lot more about the origins of the cult if you go there. So there you go.
Well,
Wait,
the
that's
mystery
supposed to be
is what
German.
I'm enjoying the most.
Right,
So
nice.
hell yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you don't like being tortured? That's not your favorite part?
I gotta say, it's really not.
Oh, okay.
No.
I'm just trying to give everybody what they want. I'm
I
just
wanted
bad at it,
to-
I guess.
I wanted to remind people that I got a flask full of nectar in that last one.
Yeah.
You do.
You did.
I was thinking about picking some of that up just for science, even before JB was going to be addicted. It's like, hey, we don't know much about this stuff. Let's get some tested. Now I got a flask of it, and it's someone who's madly addicted to it.
And
I'm
so
sure that'll be fine.
Is JB the only one who has chemistry now? Because Kay had chemistry.
I think so.
Ha! Can't imagine how that's gonna go.
Because I know Reg doesn't currently have chemistry, and I don't think Colin has chemistry.
No, that leads JB. Oh, I'll take that. I'll analyze it. Don't worry. I'm going to analyze it.
I don't have
I'm saying-
chemistry.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
nobody
so
has
nobody
chemistry.
currently has chemistry.
Oh, there you
All
go.
right. It is.
Current
This is actually something we should do. Okay, we need to like figure out what skills are now missing.
Well, some of those will be on Kerns, hopefully.
Yeah.
But do remember that you have a whopping 12 points to spend to upgrade your stuff.
And I probably will spend some on chemistry.
Yeah.
Maybe photography. Just, pick up
Yeah.
some skills.
Exactly. I don't think we need to have a full skill breakdown conversation on the mic. I think that could be, I don't know if that's entertaining for people or not. So I think we're reaching the end here. I guess here's my big question. What do you guys are doing what are you two doing? You're spinning chairs around or something? We're clearly reaching our attention span limit. This is like when I have my classroom and I'm like, oh, okay, the kids need a break because they are not going to keep listening. We're done. We're done now.
It's called cute couple shit, Dan.
I don't
You
know
will
about
be.
that. I suppose. That's also a problem in my classes. But my question is this.
The
Is
YouTube
this what
gods
it's
are gonna
like?
hate us.
I was not able to be on the part of the 24-hour stream where you guys supposedly broke Nathan. Is that what's happening right now?
This is a more mild version of that, I think.
Oh no, this feels milder. It does. I feel not broken. I am. I don't break.
So
okay.
glad to be part of it.
Yes. My question for you is this: what do you want to happen for your character next? That's my big question. Like, what do you imagine something fun for your character would be? No promises it'll happen, but I'll try to lean towards that direction.
I
probably
don't
shouldn't ask.
fucking know.
Okay.
My expectations, look, I got a whole new character arc to plan now that JB has a drug problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know with me, pardon me, with me, I kind of want Reg to learn more about that stone carving that he's been carrying around with him, because he thinks it's significant. I'm sure it's significant.
The
And
stone carving from the first episode?
yeah, the that like eye carving. Because yeah, he still has that, and like part of the reason for that, and part of my justification for that is after we had taken that out of the box that it was in, and left all the like the book or whatever it was, the papers in there, that shit exploded. So like as far as Reg is concerned, that was protecting that from harm, or it was stopping whatever happened, like whatever caused it to explode.
It's maybe a good idea. You're still holding on to that.
Mm-hmm. That's what Reg thinks.
Or maybe it's useless.
There is always that possibility as well. This is Cthulhu Mythos shit.
Yes. All right. How about you two?
I think maybe just seeing the most and losing sanity there
Okay.
wouldn't have been a super coherent time for Colin to develop a trauma or mental disorder, whatever they call here. But I think watching Kay die, specifically watching Kay die, it would be a good time to manifest that.
Okay. I'm not crazy about the way they're written in the book, where they feel like they're like tricks on the character, where like everybody in the party is like playing a trick on the character. But we'll need to try to figure out a way to do that. Because that was like, oh, your character's going to have amnesia. So party figure out what happened while you were gone, and then we don't tell you, which also I don't know how that works when you edit the goddamn podcast. So
I think some, like, honestly, like looking through it, I think out of the systems that I have played and run that have like trauma and mental illness mechanics, I think the Trail of Cthulhu actually does it in the least problematic way I've seen.
Maybe.
Because like it for
the bar
most of the
is
other
that
ones,
low.
yeah.
well,
Some of them
to be
are
fair,
really gaslighting.
like if you compare it to like Old World of Darkness, stuff that has been put out for supplements for like older D20 systems and stuff like that, the stuff that Palladium put out,
Oh God.
it's a lot better than a lot of those, because like it doesn't gamify it. Like it doesn't, here you now have this thing that you can't do, this you have this thing that, like it's more of a narrative thing that can be played in. And it doesn't necessarily invalidate what came before it, if that makes sense.
Well, I'm also going to be curious. They're working on the second edition of Trail of Cthulhu, which should, well, the books were going to ship out, but they're being printed overseas, which means that's perfect time for that. Speaking of horrible monstrosities. But the PDF will come out. You don't need to print one of those. So I'll be curious what they do with that in the next edition. But that's still a little ways off. Anyway, what about you, Renee? I guess you have a whole new fucking character, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's the 1930s. Nobody knows healthy coping mechanisms, and I suppose this character comes with baggage. But as for this most recent thing that just happened in his life, I would like to be able to process that somehow. And I'm going to be trying to do that.
Gotcha.
In the few ways I know how, as a presumably straight white guy in the 1930s.
Wonder what that was like.
That's what we're about to find out.
Yes, we're going to see how it goes. Well, I look forward to seeing how it goes, especially when we record a week from now. Shit, I got to prep some shit. So thank you so much for
do another spot day.
Yay!
Just spa day in Ethiopia. Just
No, before going to Ethiopia.
before you go to Ethiopia. Just have a spa day. Where would
Yeah.
you have the spa day?
Malta.
No.
No, we got out of there. We were gone, bitch.
Yeah, I guess we did go to the airplane.
Let's stop in Rome first.
Blow up the mouth and just like, all right, time for a day off. Hang out for an extra day.
Who else is gonna get kidnapped?
Yeah, exactly. The cult left town.
Awesome.
There it is. Now we broke it.
You know what?
It's nice knowing you.
Bye. Thanks for listening.
He's gone,
Mutiny!
No,
and he's back.
I should have done that. That was just for the bit.
It was
Um,
hilarious.
Let's round it off with want to plug shit?
Well, I think we still have Nathan.
No,
For,
Nathan was talking about he was going to be addicted to stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only other thing I was, I don't know. Sorry, 20 seconds ago, I just learned that a new Monster of the Week book came out today.
Ooh, fun.
I'm glad I've been keeping your attention.
It was
Can't you
someone pinged me on a different Discord channel. Bite me.
You're fine. You're fine.
And you did say 20 seconds ago, so like you've been paying attention the whole time.
Yeah, Daniel wasn't even here 20 seconds ago.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Can I ask
No.
a question though? About killing
Yes.
Hitler?
What?
About killing Hitler?
What about killing Hitler?
If we all committed to just abandon the whole shit, the whole math shit, and go to Austria to kill a Charlie Chaplin looking guy.
I don't know if you would get close enough to him.
Hyperspace portal.
But you need to know where he is and be familiar with the location that you're teleporting to.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is,
Shadowing.
it could theoretically happen.
Maybe let's not create a time paradox.
Just become the most potent assassin in the world.
Look,
Shadowing
if
and
that's
accounting.
truly the direction you want to go, I have two things to say about it. One, be aware that the cult is still active and will be really fucking stuff up. Two, you gotta let me know so I can prep and read about what Berlin is in Austria and all this shit is like during this time period, okay? I gotta
Yes,
know. I'm
do
not
it.
ready. No, not
and I'm
yet.
pretty-
We're doing Ethiopia first.
And I'm pretty sure that the weird mustachioed dictator was probably into some Eldritch Cthulhu shit themselves. so-
Exactly. He was meeting with Crowley and shit.
Did he really meet with Crowley? I
Yes,
don't know if
he
those two would
was.
get along. Okay.
He did meet with Crowley.
Yeah, I was about to say, I remember seeing something about that.
Well, Crowley was just a fake on everything. He just wanted
Yeah.
to have a bunch of fun times having sex with people and got to pretend he was magic. Because magic's not real.
Right. Not in
Please
this
check out
program.
our podcast at danielsdreadtales.com. It's a website. We have it. You can go there. You can also find our podcast, Daniel's Dread Tales, wherever podcasts are found. You could go to our YouTube channel, which is also Daniel's Dread Tales. Maybe you're watching it there right now because you can see my lovely face. Hi.
I
I don't know. I don't plug it a lot. Maybe I'm using it more. Check out me. I'm on Blue Sky. LOTRDAN. DAN.
Almost.
LOTRDAN. Lord of the Rings Dan is what it is. Check me out on the Bisky. I post things there occasionally. Let's see.
You can email us at danstreadtales@gmail.com.
Yeah, we should
Just-
probably put that places. Yeah.
yeah, just don't no AI generated bullshit.
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
you are AI, fuck yourself.
Okay.
So yeah, plugging shit. I can be found obviously here on the podcast, and we do the whole monthly stream thing. You should show up; it's a good time. And I also do streaming on Twitch and YouTube. You can find me by searching Magical Hack on either of those two platforms.
Anything else we want to plug?
I have this DeviantArt page, I/say/10, on DeviantArt.
Is it an underscore or is it slash?
It's /_ was taken.
Oh, underscore was taken. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I say 10. I post paintings every once in a while.
Some of them are inspired by this game.
A lot of them are inspired by this game.
And they're really cool.
Thank you. Also, the painting. Just want to say about the painting entitled "Captured." People assumed that was Donovan. It was not Donovan.
Yeah.
We just have a habit of tying people to chairs, I guess.
Yeah.
It's a convenient thing to do. It's a convenient way to kidnap someone.
It is.
All right.
It really is.
Makes them more portable.
Allegedly.
And
anything
it
else
to post spoilers without admitting they're spoilers.
I suppose so. Anything else we want to get out there? Nathan,
No.
Russell, and
You can, of
should
course,
people find you on the
me
internet?
At,
Okay. We're all on the bits.
Okay. No, I'm good.
Okay. Cool. We actually could probably just have ended it there. Bye, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. Let us know if you like the video part of this. I don't know. Maybe it was cool. You can see my face. See my graying beard and the fact that I maybe forgot we were doing this today, so I'm very stubbly. With that, I think for realsies, goodbye.
Bye.
Have a great day.